We're using free association to develop creative imagery. Sometimes when you're doing an art project and you need it to include a person or yourself in your art, or maybe even a concept, you try to find ways to draw it or include it, and you can feel a little limited. You might say, well, let's say it's about my dad. I'll just write the word dad somewhere in the project. Okay, so this is my art piece, and I'm just going to write dad. Or let's say you're willing to be a little bit more visual, and you're like, well, I don't really draw that well, but my dad has glasses, and he has a mustache, and he's kind of balding, and he wears sweaters. Okay, so that's my dad. So that might work. That's just a picture of him, and that's okay too, but sometimes you really want to develop creative imagery that's not just a literal depiction of that person. How do you do it? So this is a technique to help you with that. I got some quiet music on the background. I really recommend you put on some headphones. This music is Clarinet by Tony Scott. It's music for Zen meditation. And I suggest you put it on and pour yourself a cup of tea and kick back with something to draw with. And here's our first step. So what you're going to want is like 3 pieces of paper, 3 pages, or you can take one sheet and fold it into 4, so you have like a little book. You can figure out how to do that. And your first prompt, what are 3 words that come to mind when you say the person's name? Now you want to not have any filter here, and that is why you want your music and your headphones and a quiet space where you're not going to be interrupted. So, okay, say my person's name. This is Dad. Okay, so I'm going to go with 3 words that come to mind. Coffee, jazz, and professor. Okay, those are my 3 words. Now, let's say you were actually doing a concept rather than a person. Let's say it was justice. Then you might free associate. Jail, court, fairness. Okay, so now you have 3 words that are associated. The next question is, what is something that person or that concept really wants or fears? So for my dad, I would say he really wants to help people. So, helping. If it was justice, maybe you would say equality. Everyone has their needs met. Society runs smoothly. Just write it out. And here's where we got to get creative. So you're going to look back over your imagery and combine or mash up 2 images that you've already come up with. And it's okay if it's silly. So some images I have coffee, professor, jazz, and helping. So how do I combine coffee and helping? Well, coffee, cup, helping, life preserver. Maybe it's like the life preserver going into the coffee cup. It's like a donut. Interesting. Now you don't have to know what it means yet. You're just playing here. Next question. What's something that person or concept has on his or her shelf? Now, if this is a person, it could be literal, like what does he really have on his shelf? If it's justice, what's on justice's shelf? I don't know. What comes to mind? Sometimes people talk about the scales of justice. That seems a little too obvious. I don't know. Play with it. But for my dad, on his shelf, maybe a Civil War canteen. Looks like this. It's this old canteen he has. Okay. Doesn't have to be a masterpiece. It's a little chain that holds the cap on. Okay. Got some imagery here. Move on. Now you have all these little drawings, and you go back to the main text. Is there anywhere in the story where you have imagery that echoes with anything you've drawn or written? So I did draw earlier that coffee cup with the steam coming out, and let's imagine that the text we're using is Mount Sinai. So it did say that Mount Sinai trembled and that there was smoke. So I'm kind of wondering if the smoke might somehow connect. What would it look like for the coffee to be interacting with the mountain? Is it climbing the mountain? Is it pouring on the mountain? So now you have some really unexpected images. We have the smoke from a cup rising up and reaching a mountain. We have a cup pouring on the mountain. Ultimately, you get to decide. So I think my favorite one, ultimately, of all of them, was that cup, and into that cup was going that life preserver. It's like a donut, but it's to save people. Now, this image, whenever I use it, that symbolizes my dad because it tells a story. Now, it doesn't matter that the viewers don't understand it. In your narrative, you will explain why you use that imagery. And it's a private code, but it's creative, and it's a way of depicting someone or something that's not quite so literal. So that's how you use free association. And it doesn't always work the first time. Sometimes you want to try it again. Go over it again, draw some more, try a different frame. But ultimately, as your creativity kicks in, you'll find stranger and stranger imagery emerging, and you might find something really unexpected that you love and that will make your art special and unique.